the city. I think there's a lot of projects that we're moving forward with and making Florida a better city, so we thank you for the partnership.
Thank you.
Sure do. CNA approved meeting minutes from the meeting held on May 11th.
And we made the changes there to amend with the 75. They put it in.
That was for April then. That was
Oh, that was April, never mind.
This is for May.
Okay, I figured it out. DOD's Board of Director.
Yes.
Can I make a comment, Mr. President?
Please.
On page 405, all new construction projects, instead of, it should be, there's a zero that's missing. Did you see that at the very corner? It says 2500 instead of 25,000.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
A zero missing right there.
Yes.
Showing
Got it.
that's the one I had seen.
Any other edits to the minutes? If not, let's have a motion to approve as with the correction.
Wait till David finishes reading.
Okay.
Just waiting for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented with the exception of the change. On
Motion
page
by
5.
Mr. Lambert, is there a second to that? Second. Second by Mr. Hydra. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Roy or Mr. Bin, a financial overview.
Okay. It seems like all these pandemic bills haven't affected its tax sales at all.
Yeah, so if you look, kind of just, if you go straight to like, really the big thing is the sales tax in May. And if you kind of go back, we started like in March when this thing happened, the pandemic, you know, we were down about 1,000. And then we really saw the effect in April, we were down about 5,000. But then in May, you know, everybody kind of a few months behind with the way they do the reporting. You can see, I think those are the numbers where everyone is going to HEB and Walmart. So that was up to 85,000 where, you know, we were down 6, now we're up 12 compared to last year. We were at 73, 948, and we're at 85, 928. So I think last month we were total collected on the percent, we were about 2.11 and now we're at 3.92. So we're right on track to still meet our estimation of 5% growth in our sales tax. So I think last year we ended at what, at 900,000. So if we just hit our numbers we're at right now, we're going to hit that.
Then on this, the white page, it says 85,928.
Yes.
But in the front page, it shows 82,928.
Okay, well then it's 85, but it's that came over. I'll make sure to get with Christina in the finance department. Get that
You see
changed.
that?
Yeah. Charlotte, we'll check with her, make sure we get it changed.
So the 85 is what's correct?
Yeah, what's correct is on the white page. Yes, sorry about that.
So what's the difference this year been from last year?
So last year we were at 73,948. So if you go into the white page and look at 1819 for the month of May, and then almost a $12,000 difference in that month that jump.
73.
You most picked up everything you dropped in April. Almost?
We picked up double, so if you looked at April and May, at March and April, we're down 6,000, so we were at 59,774 in March, and then we dropped to 58, so we lost about 1,700. And then in April, we were at 7706, and we were to 65, so we were down about 55. So you're looking about $7,000-8,000 right there. And then in the month of May, we're at like 12, so we're up 5,000. So almost doubled. So I'm interested to see what June does. I think that's a good indication that people are shopping local. So as we put our hashtags out there, eat local, shop local, I think you see that happening, even though we have lost from, at Friday, we move, with our restaurants, we move from 50% to 75%, and then now you can go from 6 at a table to 10 at a table. So those requirements continue to change, but at 50%, I think our sales tax with our restaurants are up because people are eating local versus going to San Antonio, maybe some of the more affected areas, or with other theft that's going on around San Antonio and the other surrounding cities. But I think we lost 3 restaurants haven't opened back up currently. I don't know when the Thai restaurant's going to open back up, and the Kicking Asian didn't open back up, and then Troll Riders just hasn't opened back their doors for some reason. So I'm trying to.
Yeah, they're only open in the afternoon.
In the afternoons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they were closed on Friday. The other.
Right, I don't know what's going on with that, but
The occupancy level has actually increased per the governor, and
Yeah.
so at first it was only 25% occupancy, and now there's 50% occupancy. And
Friday goes to 75.
And then they're gonna go up to 75, and then of course, the attorney's gonna tell you that, there's no limits that they set on anything that's outdoor dining or outdoor patio. And so if you're at 75%, you're almost back up, because I don't think at any point in time our restaurant stayed more than 75%. And so they're pretty much back to,
And then we've had 3 new restaurants open up. We've had the Juice Box open up during this pandemic, they were being really successful. Now they have like late nights, you can go out and BYOB, bring your own drinks and make your own pina colada mix with the natural fruits and take it home. They have little parties going on there. They've expanded. And then the FTX Nutrition will be planning their grand opening. Talked to Sarah Robles, who opened that out of Pleasanton, who has opened that over there in the old Post Plumbing building. And then Alan Carvalhall's been open for about 3 weeks now, 3 or 4 weeks. So we're going to be scheduling his grand opening as well, just to get that word out so people know all the different restaurants that, or coffee shops and nutrition places that have opened up.
Ben, that second page where amount collected same period last year, 582, those are accurate?
Yes, those are accurate numbers, yeah. This
So
is the
we're
accurate.
actually ahead about $23,000 compared to last year?
Yeah, so last year we were at 582, and this year we're at 605,000. And so that shows that right now we've collected 3.9%, 2% over what we collected last year. And we made those projections on our budget to be at 5%, but that was 5% increase off of 790, so we went to 835 on our budget. So our budget is 835, but we collected 900 last year. So this year, if we do another 5% on top of the 900, you can do the math on that, we should have well over 100,000 collected over our budget.
And Mr. Chairman, speaking of numbers, our auditors are here. We share the same auditing firm. They should have some numbers by Friday, because I need to be able to start the city budget, and then Vince will need to start his FEDC numbers. So we'll be able to have some audited numbers to give you a baseline so we can get ready for the audit, for your budget for next year. When speaking about the sales tax, because that's what I'm looking at, sales tax and my street maintenance, he stated that it looks like overall we will probably come in about where we are last week, if they trended the way that they see it's coming, because it's actually coming back. So I need to have that number so I know what the budget for next year, but I would definitely say that he'll have what we collected, and he's auditing the year before, but he'll have some numbers that we collected, that I would recommend that you budget for what you got this year, to say it's a safe bet for next year. Even though they do project that number will be higher than what we initially budgeted, so that's a good thing.
Any other questions for Ben or Mr. Roy? Regarding 2A?
No, but we will make those corrections on our
Just,
little cheat sheet we have on the.
Quick question, do you attribute the majority of the increase to retail, like you mentioned, Walmart, H-E-B?
Yes.
Is that the,
I think from the last thing we had from retail coach, you saw that increase. But no, retail and businesses, because you look at Sonic was up 30% on their stuff. So I think like Bill Miller's and South Waterbury's, the way that they've adapted and the way that I think Henrietta's done a great job with the city, and Ralph, our code compliance officer, we have that good line of communication with our city where he's out giving the packets. I mean, I hate to see the copy bill when they get done, because they're making like every Friday, it changes like every 3 days, so they're having to go to all these businesses with 10 or 15 packets, but it has, here's your new requirement, here's your corporate postings, what you can do. But I think with that good communication that she has set up through the city and the businesses, and what we've set up as well, it's been really good to help them and go along the way. So, and that's where we've been helping them to make sure they stay open. We have the sanitizer available. We handed out, I think, 4 of them this last week. So as they know they need that. It's hard to get a hold of in bulk. We're here to make sure they have the things they need to be open, the basic needs.
If there's no further questions, go on to 3A. Consideration action to discuss Lodi Park dedications and completion dates.
Yeah, so there's really nothing in our packet regarding that. So back in March was when we were planning on being done, then everything got kind of delayed. So the last thing we have to do with our Lodi Park dedication is we have our adopted park program that the city has piloted for us with this park. So El Messias United Methodist Church has adopted that park. So we're picking that plaque up this, it's not a plaque, it's just a little sign 2x2 or 2x3.
With a metal surround.
With the metal surround, so we can get it welded on a pole and be out there. So I talked to Pastor Gill over there, and he's gonna work with his men's group and his youth group with the church, and they'll be adopting that park, going out and really like helping maybe cut it or mow it as a city in between time, or picking up trash and bagging it. And so they've decided to take that on as a project. It's right a couple blocks away from their church. So we're gonna get that installed, and then we have our plaque that we need to get installed. Other than that, we have scheduled to have the fence installed, and that's the last phase that we got put on hold because of the COVID stuff. So
So you're looking for maybe a July dedication?
yeah, a July dedication. So really wanted to bring that to y'all, and just Charlotte will be sending out, let y'all maybe be aware that we're looking at a July dedication. We'll be sending out some things that maybe y'all might recommend, times y'all can meet during the day to have that, and hopefully early, or like around 9, 10 o'clock, about 10 o'clock, so it's cooler, not in the afternoon. So we can just have that park dedication and get that up and going. It's really exciting to go by there and see how many kids have used that park and used that pavilion the other day. We're going by there, and during the COVID stuff, as soon as they took the ribbon off, I think we saw a family out there, they were eating McDonald's, so it's nice that they're eating outside and utilizing it. So.
Okay, so what action, what dates do we have in mind?
Yeah, that's what kind of wanted to see what people's schedule looks like. We're looking at mid-July because of the 4th of July. People are traveling, so let me go to the calendar. So the week of the 13th, we have our board meeting on the 13th, so we're maybe.
Why don't we say that you and Charlotte will pick some days, and then she can just get a feeling from the board of how many can participate.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get as many
Is
there
that
as
okay,
possible.
Madam Attorney, we can do it like that?
Yes, sir, you
Are you
can.
looking at a weekend or a weekday?
Day.
A week.
Weekday morning.
Weekday. Thank you, because Saturday's on this office.
Yeah. No, we did morning. I'd like to do it that week of the 13th sometime, so then we have a meeting that week, so we can remind everybody again that morning. That's a good reminder. So we'll, that's what we'll do. We'll,
Okay, can we have a motion that Charlotte and Ben will provide some dates, and we can reach a consensus on that?
Yes. And are you gonna wanna say, Mr. President, during the week of July 13th through the
Is
17th?
that,
Yeah.
Is that what you're looking at?
yes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that Charlotte and Ben research some dates for the July dedication of this Lodi Park, and we'll get out to the board.
okay, motion by Mr. Lambert, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Gowda, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 3B, CNA to discuss the new application period for Phase 2 of the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Small Business Program.
So if you go to your packet, you'll see, just wanted to kind of give an update too. Since our last thing, we did everyone here besides Jake got an update, and we approved for the business grants. Went and talked to the city with, since we started this program, they have what they call the CARES Act, and I'm going to chime in, Mr. Attorney, feel free. But they've put 25% of that budget, which is about 400,000, a little over. And they were looking at matching the 60,000 towards 4 grant funds for businesses. So I think what we wanted to do is bring back to the board and have some motion or have some action on to reopen the grant again, to work with the city to help distribute their funds, as we've had a lot of businesses reach out since we've closed it, but maybe not opening up the grant until we've already paid out the current ones that we have right now.
So then if I may, Mr.
Yep.
Chairman, if I may, the city council approved a resolution that in the resolution, the maximum you can do for this, what they call an economic grant, is 25% of our allotment, which is about $400-something thousand. So it comes out to be a little over $100,000 the city can do. And so it's a reimbursement. So if you remember, I have to spend the money, then you ask for it to come back. Spend some time with the auditors on that today as well. And so what we want to be able to do is in the resolution, the attorney, thank you so much, Sylvia, put in there that we want to have our grant that we can do to be in partnership with EDC. That way, it's going to run the same criteria that you all selected before, but it'll give you additional funds. It said to match your funds but not to exceed 25% is what it said. So there's a maximum I can do is I think it's $104,000, but at least we need to be able to do the 60 to match you. Okay, so that's what we're trying to be able to do. Now we have to expend these funds by December of 2020. That's this December, not next December. And so what we're hoping to do is the city has already approved it to do it. We've already said that we want to have your resolution. The city just approved Thursday on your first reading to do that. So we have all the public hearings and all that kind of stuff that you have coming up. You've already done the program. I don't need to reinvent the wheel. So all we want to do is piggyback off of you. Thank you so much. And be able to fund that account. So while you're giving out your funds and dispense your funds in your first round, see how that goes. And then by the time you're ready, in your next fiscal year, we'll be ready to replenish your bucket of funds so that you can do it again.
And we'll keep the same board, the same regs, same everything.
We want to keep everything the same because you all, it's tried and true, it's proven.
Yeah.
And so all we want to do is just say, I can say when they come to audit, they will come audit, that we gave the funds to EDC, we transferred the funds to EDC, EDC fund them with these regs, and we're good. Because it is a grant. And by the way, the county is having these funds as well. The county received $2 million, and they have to expend not more than 25% of that for the same things. It can be for businesses that were affected by COVID, also special districts as well. And the county has formed a committee. That's all I can tell you, they formed a committee. They won't let anybody come to their meeting because they're not having public meetings. But, so it is something that we need to definitely do. And so the time frame is there so we can go ahead and do it. But I explained to somebody today, it's a grant. They just grant. As long as it's COVID related, it's grant. But you all are going above and beyond just giving the money out. You're having your public hearing. You've had the council to approve it. You're doing the first and second reading. And so when they finally figure out that they're supposed to be able to do these things, you will have these things in minutes already in place. And so I'm looking forward to be able to have the second phase to be able to fund that. But you know, the first, you definitely have skin in the game, but the city should have some too.
So with that, my recommendation is that as we move forward to work with the city to reopen the second phase of our COVID-19 Economic Recovery Small Business Program, that we do that after we have exhausted the current funding and got it out to the businesses.
Okay,
So the way it looks right now, just so, go ahead, Gordon.
so that's gonna be for the $60,000 first.
For another, what they have, they can up to another 107, depending on with the city.
So we're gonna do the 60,000 first, then we're moving into the finance.
Yes, then we went to like the 25% of what the city has. So the way it looks right now, We have our second reading this Thursday on the 11th, and then we have our public hearing on the 18th. So businesses are calling, and we started telling them that, hey, this is what you're gonna be awarded. So probably that last week of June or mid-July, we should have all of them paid out. It's a lot of paperwork. We gotta get them in the system with their W-9. We started that this week. And so, and then taking those checks to the businesses, and then probably like mid-July, we'll pick a date. After those funds are exhausted, do the same thing, another 2-week period of taking the applications, close it down, have our committee meeting like we had before, make a recommendation and go from there.
Well, then for tonight's meeting, why don't we table this until all of these current funds are all given out? Would that be the proper thing to say?
Or do you wanna,
Unless you pick a day, I don't know. How fast are these funds gonna get distributed, Mr. President?
But you have your
Then-
public hearing on the 18th, is that
Yeah.
right? And so,
So we say August 1st then? Would that be sufficient time?
August 1st or mid-July? I mean, what do you
You
think?
can probably
Mr.
start, you'll be awarding by August 1st, but you're gonna start phase 2 probably in July.
Yeah.
yes.
So I think the after July 20th, July 20th?
To start awarding?
No, to start,
The process.
start the
Second
process
phase.
for that last 2 weeks of
Application.
July. So to start phase 2, July 20th through that 2-week period, July,
You think you'll be finished by then?
oh yeah, we'll have all the,
Ben?
Okay, let's say
Go
estimated
ahead,
July
Sean.
20th, go ahead.
So the public hearing is on June 18th,
yes.
and then we can fund that following week, can we not, of June?
Yeah, so that gives us,
So
that gives
we've
us a
got-
month
Okay,
to,
to fund, and then we will begin July. Okay.
yes. So July 20th is when we'll open the application period up again.
Okay,
And
July
don't
20.
forget, we gotta get them to sign those performance agreements.
Yes, that's why I wanted a month so we could
Okay.
get with them, sign the performance agreements.
I would want to notify the same people, the list was 34, 39?
43.
42.
No, they won't be notified again, they won't be able to apply in phase 2. So we'll have to come back in July, and one thing we will have to do is just amend that phase 2 will be for new businesses that haven't received funding in phase 1.
Oh,
Because right now, I think I have 8 businesses that kind of missed the period, that word of mouth got out.
And it's gonna be the same dollar amount that we're,
No, I mean, it could change, that's why we need to have another committee meeting, and then we get together,
that's a larger
Did you
amount,
allow
like
everybody to
100
reapply?
that we should allow everybody to apply.
or we could
Because
say,
let's say we're giving a larger amount, then the
Yeah.
first applicants only receive the 1,500.
It'd be like
How
a
much in the second phase?
or what we could do is,
I get 100, I get
104,000.
what we could do is,
Some you have-
this is the way I would,
You can give.
we already have the application, there's no reason to reapply. Say we come in and 30, let's just throw a number out there, 30 more apply. So we take 30 and we decide, hey, we want to give this 30, 2,500, but the numbers work, we can always make a motion to go refund phase 1 with the extra, with another extra $1,000, and then give them another check. So I don't think there's a reason to reapply and reinvent that wheel. I think when it comes down to it, we see how many people come in phase 2, we may have another 50 businesses apply. We don't know what that number is, then we get that number, we can say, okay, here's what the city has in their pool. So we have this many businesses, and we can pick a number, vote on it, and then we can do an overall number of like, say, 30 plus 4373, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And decide we want to give them this amount, and then we can go back and refund them, hey, in phase 2, we decide to give you another $1,000 or $500. I don't think there's a reason for.
In the end, everyone will get the same amount.
Receive a match.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the only fair way to do it.
I think that's the fair, easiest way to do it, and, so,
Okay, recommendation by Mr. Reed is that we look at July 20th to start the second phase. So we'll leave that as a motion to approve July 20th as a new application period.
Motion so moved, sir.
So moved by Mr. Lambert. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Del Bosque. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 3C, CNA to approve the Wilson County News Gold Wilson application.
Charlotte's kind of helped me on this as well. So last year, the city was approached, and we were approached as well, they have an app, so it's kind of like as we went to different trainings through like TML and naturally the cities, they have social media apps where, like I think the city of Blanco was utilizing it, and they were providing these apps where it's just another way to push out data, but you push out your own data versus pushing out what, say the newspaper would do. The newspaper, what they do is they record their history as they see it. So whereas on this app, when we push notifications or we push out information, we get to push it out the way we want to push it out. So the city has already had set up an account. We're past that 1 year. So in talking with the paper, we talked about, we created just one page. So if you go to the Go Wilson app and click on it, it has a spot for the Floresville Economic Development Corporation, has a spot for the city, and then we put a spot for the event center for their calendar, just so people can see where their calendars. I think it's a really good thing. They, I think at the time had 700 people that had downloaded the app last year, so I didn't get an updated number on that, I'm sorry, but I think it's something that we could go, just want to get your approval to move forward with the city and pay for half of it to continue with the Go Wilson app for the city of Floresville and the Economic Development Corporation.
I do have to say, Mr. Chairman, if I may, that we really didn't pay much attention to this app until this pandemic hit. And Charlotte was definitely the young man that stepped up to the plate to send out that notification that we need to, because we were sending out more notifications than we ever had in our lifetime. And so having to use that and finding a secondary use, I would see a use for this going forward, because when we say push notification, anybody who signed up for it and have the app, and I don't do apps, but I have that app on my phone, you can put a notice out, either emergency and or advertising, that you can push out that anybody who's signed up for it, it gets a notification on their phone. So I have that cell phone thing, and as much as I do love Wilson County News, it says what we wanted to say. So it says that. So we can say, for example, you all just talked about the second phase. It can push out there, second phase of applications for COVID is available, you know, contact this number. We can push notify that. But the Wilson County, in their defense, will also piggyback and push it to everybody that they have. So it's been a method that we've been able to do with social media that we had for a year. I really didn't pay much attention to it, but when we had to send out this notification to get the word out, this app came into handy and have more people to sign up. And so they're asking us to renew it again. I'm going to be using our marketing, since I'm taking down my billboard, using my marketing money to pay for that, but I really would appreciate the partnership, because it has been something that we use. And if you don't have the app, I strongly recommend, did you see her, because I don't do them, Charlotte can help you download the app, because it was really, really interesting to have that
We had 700 people download the app last year. What numbers does Wilson County have on their end?
I don't keep up.
Yeah, I don't have the correct numbers. I was trying to get that for the meeting. That's why I apologize over there. I wasn't able to get that number. But I think we can do a better job of both pushing the app. You can see when you come to City Hall, we made flyers, and what we did is, Charlotte doesn't have her badge on, but we have our own, it's not the Go Wilson app, we have our own tab icon, so it's an F with like a little star on it, so we have our own tab now. You'll see it in the paper.
We upgraded a little bit, because it used to just be Go Wilson, and now it's Floresville, so it's, you know, it's really, anybody can get a hold to it, but it's really trying to focus, seeing that Floresville branding, so that we can get people to see it to come out. Ms. Weaver said that we have increased our numbers, but I couldn't tell you what the numbers are.
I think it's a really good idea. I mean, that's the way of the future. There's a lot of people that are self-sufficient. They seek information on their own with the apps. Agendas, things like that is something that you send out.
And that's what we can, like Charlotte went to a training with her where we can sync the city calendar, our calendar to
Right.
it. So it's just another way of.
I mean, we're forced, I mean, if nothing else, we can be old school as much as we want to, but with this pandemic, we're forced to use all this technology. And so this is definitely something that we already have in the mix, that we just need to renew.
So our portion of it would be $1,800.
How much?
$1,800.
And that's already a budgeted item.
Yeah, well, we have marketing dollars that we have available, so that's where I would take it from. I would pull it from our current marketing dollars to pay for it, to go from, well, I guess we'll never renew it for another year.
So motion to approve the Go Wilson application.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we partner with the city on the app for Go Wilson.
Mr. Delosque,
Second.
second by Mr. Ida. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 4, executive session, according to the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, pursuant to Government Code Section 551.072, deliberation regarding real property. A governmental body may conduct a closed meeting to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body and negotiations with a third person. Motion to go into closed session,
So moved.
moved by Mr. Lambert,
Second.
second Mr. Hydrock, all in favor?
Aye.
Greg, will you just excuse us just for a few minutes? I'm sure this is gonna be a short closed session.